Attention passionate San Francisco 49ers fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC West and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on San Francisco 49ers' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true San Francisco 49ers fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your FRINDS and San Francisco 49ers fans. Let's get to the news. Well, folks, if you thought the San Francisco 49ers were just going to cruise through the NFC West this season, think again. Because what's happening right now? It's a story of resilience, injury setbacks, and a team fighting against the odds to keep their Super Bowl aspirations alive. The 49ers, coming off a tough 26-21 loss to the Jacksonville Jaguars in Week 4, are now facing some serious hurdles, especially on the offensive side of the ball. And let me tell you, this isn't just about losing a game or two. It's about how those injuries are threatening to derail their entire offensive rhythm just when they need it most. Now, the game against the Rams on Thursday Night Football isn't just another NFC West matchup. It's a critical crossroads for the 49ers' season and their division standing. Because, let's be honest, the Rams, led by their own set of talented players, are looking to capitalize on any weakness the 49ers might be showing right now, especially if key weapons are unavailable. The big story leading into this week is the uncertainty surrounding two of the 49ers' most important offensive weapons, wide receivers Ricky Pearsall and John Jennings. Both of them, as we know, have been battling injuries, and their statuses are now in serious doubt ahead of this crucial Thursday night game. Pearsall, who had already been dealing with a knee injury, something that hampered him in the week leading up to the Jaguars game, re-aggravated that injury late in the fourth quarter of their loss. The situation with Pearsall is particularly concerning because this isn't just a minor tweak. There's talk that he might have suffered a minor PCL injury. Now, we all know how delicate these knee injuries can be, especially for a player who's been trying to carve out a bigger role in Shanahan's offense. And with the short turnaround, anything less than full health could be a huge problem for the Niners' game plan against the Rams. John Jennings, meanwhile, who's been battling ankle and shoulder issues, also took a hard hit to the ribs during that game, especially on a two-point conversion in the second half. It's a brutal reality for a team that's already been hit hard by injuries this season. Jennings's injury, in particular, is troubling because he's been one of the few receivers on the roster who consistently shows that grit and ability to make tough catches when the team needs him most. Losing him would be a big blow, especially considering how Shanahan relies on his versatile receivers to stretch the field and create mismatches. Now, head coach Kyle Shanahan provided updates on Monday that, let's just say, leave a lot of questions hanging in the air. When asked about Pearsall and Jennings, Shanahan was cautious. He said, "Hopefully, we'll find out more later today," which is standard when dealing with injuries after a game. But then he added, "Anytime guys are sore and hurting on a Monday, you usually don't stress too much about it. But with a Thursday game, it's a totally different element." That's a clear indication that the team is bracing for the worst, or at least trying to keep their hopes alive that both players will be able to suit up. Shanahan also mentioned that Pearsall might have suffered a minor PCL injury, but he emphasized that further tests are needed before any definitive statement can be made. That's the reality of the NFL. These injury reports are often fluid, and the team's medical staff will be working tirelessly to assess whether Pearsall can recover in time for Thursday night. The same goes for Jennings, whose ribs are likely to be a concern given the impact he took during that tough hit. This injury situation couldn't come at a worse time for the 49ers. They've been dealing with a season-long rash of offensive injuries that have hampered their ability to sustain offensive drives and produce the points they're capable of. Brandon Ayuk, their star wide receiver, is still working his way back from last year's ACL and MCL tears. He's shown flashes of brilliance, but he's not yet at full strength. Meanwhile, George Kittle remains on injured reserve with a hamstring injury suffered in Week 1. And let's be honest, without consistent pass-catching options, defenses have been able to double-team Christian McCaffrey more often, making it even harder for the Niners to get their run game going. In fact, through 4 weeks, the the 49ers are the only team in the entire NFL without a rushing touchdown. That's a stunning statistic for a team known for its power run game, and it underscores just how much the injuries have disrupted their offensive identity. Pearsall and Jennings are arguably the only wide receivers on Shanahan's roster who garner significant respect from opposing defenses. If they are sidelined, that leaves a huge void, forcing Shanahan to get creative and try to scheme around the limitations. The pressure on the coaching staff to find ways to get the offense back on track is immense, especially given the short week. Now, let's not forget that this game against the Rams isn't just about the standings. It's about pride, division dominance, and maintaining that elite status they've worked so hard to build over the past few seasons. The Rams, led by their own talented roster, are eager to prove they can beat the 49ers and take control of the NFC West. They have their own weapons, and a victory on Thursday night could shift momentum in a big way. For the 49ers, it's a test of resilience. Can they overcome the injury setbacks? Can their depth step up? Will players like Pearsall or Jennings be ready to contribute? Those are the questions hanging in the air right now. The upcoming days will be crucial. The team will be doing everything possible to get their injured players back on the field, but the reality is that with just a few days of recovery, chances are slim for some. Shanahan's game plan will likely need to adapt, emphasizing the run game even more and perhaps leaning on other receivers like Ayuk, if he's up for it, or even some of the younger, less experienced guys on the roster. It's a true test of the coaching staff's ingenuity and the players' grit. This stretch also puts a spotlight on the importance of depth and the value of the entire roster. The 49ers have built a team that's known for its physicality, discipline, and strategic mastery, but injuries are an inevitable part of the NFL's brutal nature. How they respond now will shape their season. If they can rally and find a way to win against the Rams, it would be a huge statement. It would show that even in the face of adversity, this team's championship DNA remains intact. But if injuries continue to pile up and key players can't go, it could complicate their playoff prospects and throw their entire season into uncertainty. The NFC West is shaping up to be one of the most competitive divisions this year, with the Rams eager to defend their turf and the Seahawks and Cardinals lurking behind, ready to pounce on any opportunity. The 49ers, despite their injuries, still have one of the strongest defenses in the league, and if their offense can find a spark, they're still very much in the hunt. But it all depends on health, and right now, that's the biggest question mark. Will Pearsall and Jennings recover in time? How will Shanahan adjust his game plan? Can the entire roster step up under this pressure? What's clear is that this Thursday night showdown isn't just a game, it's a statement. The 49ers need to prove they can overcome the injury adversity, keep their division lead, and stay on course for another deep playoff run. The stakes are high, and every play, every decision counts. The NFL season is a roller coaster, and the San Francisco 49ers are in the middle of a critical chapter, one that could define their entire campaign. So, stay tuned, keep the faith, and let's see how this story unfolds. The coming days will tell us a lot about the resilience and depth of this team, and whether they can keep their Super Bowl dreams alive despite all the hurdles. Pause here, just for a second. If you want the YOUTUB algorithm to keep recommending the latest San Francisco 49ers news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. And now, San Francisco 49ers fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this injury situation? Do you believe Pearsall or Jennings will be able to return in time for this game? How do you think Shanahan should adjust his game plan if they're out? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the team. Remember, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for all the latest San Francisco 49ers news. This team has faced adversity before, and somehow, they've always found a way to come back stronger. Let's see if they can do it again this season. Thanks for being with me today, and as always, go Niners.